Making granola with Vince.
Making granola. Hot granola.
Hot.
Coffee and granola. Hot and scratchy. Hot and scratchy.
Itchy and scratchy.
Itchy and scratchy show.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Today I'm with Richie again.
Oh yeah.
And we'll probably talk about a bunch of stuff, but I guess one of the topics we want to bring up is the only thing that kind of keeps us close together these days: video games.
Yeah.
Video games. So Richie, do you remember what's like the furthest back that you can remember, like when you first played video games? Started? What was?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Great start.
That's a good question.
I remember that me and Megan, my sister, got a Sega Genesis, and that was the first system that we had, and we would play. There was like 1,000 games you can get, and you can get them at garage sales, and that was every garage sale we'd go, and we'd be like, hey, what Sega game do they have? And the only good Sega game, I don't care what anyone says, was Sonic and NBA Jam. Actually, there was probably a lot of good ones, but everything else was just absolutely like you'd play it and you weren't really sure why you owned it. Like this is like software that you owned, and we had Echo. Did you ever have that game?
No, I didn't have a Sega.
You didn't have a Sega? Okay, well there's
no.
this. Well, let me learn you something about Echo, the Sega Genesis game. It is a game about a dolphin, and you're a dolphin in the water, and then end of plot.
Well, actually, okay, so I did own a Sega Pico.
What?
Okay, so
What
a
is
Sega
that?
Pico it was this thing. It was like before the stylus was like cool,
Okay.
and you would open it up, and it had like a screen that you could, with a pen, like draw, and you would see on the screen, and you'd have these games.
What?
This was way before the DS. Yeah, this was when I was
What?
little, and it was by Sega, so they had like Sonic characters, and I remember there was a dolphin.
Echo.
It must have been Echo.
It
Then.
was Echo the dolphin.
I didn't own it. My cousin did, but I remember Echo, and they had all sorts of like games and stuff. They were sweet.
Yeah. Here's the thing with Echo is you'll go, and so it's side scroller because it's Sega, and so you're in the ocean. You're like, okay, cool. So you're figuring it out, and you're like, okay, I can jump up, and I can do magical dives into the water, and then you're like, okay, where's this going? And then she's like, maybe I'll just go right, and so you start going right, and you hit a wall, and you're like, So you jump over the wall, and you're like, I see where this is going, and then you keep going, and then the next one to get over, you got to go below, and you're like, okay, so you dive below the water, and then you go through the rocks and through the cave, and you're like, okay, I get it, you're a dolphin moving, and then it gets to a point 5 minutes into the game where you hit a wall, and you go as low as you can, and it doesn't lead you anywhere, and you'll go as high as you can, and you'll jump over it, and you can't jump over it, and so I guess the game's over. I don't really know. I wasn't that good at video games to know what's next, but
You're just a fish in a fishbowl. That's it. No matter what you're doing, you're stuck.
I think that was probably the lesson in that game, is that no one wants you to win. They just want you to get used to what life is going to be like. Is you're going to be like, yeah, I'm totally getting momentum right now, and then you hit a wall, and no one will help,
And then you start going down.
and then you get lower, and that doesn't help. So you try to go high, and then you get way low again, and
then you get addicted.
then you get addicted. Then
you find a religion.
then,
and
yeah,
that's it.
jellyfish.
So okay, so for my
Echo, go.
So for me, I didn't start off with Sega. I started off with Super Nintendo. That's the earliest that I remember.
Yeah, okay.
My dad brought home a Super Nintendo, and he brought over Super Mario World.
Okay.
And me and my brother were playing it, and he was. I just remember that day he like did like a little bit better than I did, and he's my younger brother, so I was like, I must do better.
Yeah.
And I guess that's been my thing the rest of my life.
Just trying to make up for
just do
Super
better.
Mario World.
Because that stupid shell, the first one that pops in, that's probably killed more people.
You should have read the booklet that comes with every video game.
Okay, we can start talking about that right now. We're gonna jump generations now. Okay, because literally today I was going through my younger brother. Well, he's the youngest brother. He's got Xbox One games.
Yeah.
I opened it up. There was a less than a 1-ply toilet paper sized excuse of a paper
Yeah.
inside the game
That's
systems.
it?
Yeah,
You
that's
didn't
it.
buy it
That's
used or
it. It's
anything?
they open it up and they go, "Yep."
You
It's just
figure
it's
it
the
out,
same
stupid.
picture as the cover, and you
cover
turn it
of it.
over and it's just a bunch of sentences in multiple languages.
Yeah. It all says caution, don't eat, and then
Yeah.
it's warning Spanish, don't eat.
And I remember that they were saying that what happens was instead of like creating the directions, they would make the game where you'd start off kind of like almost like a tutorial,
Which is always the best part
which
of
is
any game.
yeah, it's the worst part because it never works even
No.
when they're trying to do it. Or like you got to learn to do this attack that you'll never use
No.
ever in the game.
It's always like the tutorial is always like, yeah, this is gonna totally prep you for the game. It's like, all right, start. The game will start and it'll open up on your character, and then you'll be like, all right, you'll push the joystick down, and then it'll immediately pause. You'll be like, whoa, 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 you're getting ahead of yourself.
Don't go crazy.
And then it'll be like, let's start with a nice walk down. Now stay on the sidewalk.
Breathe in. It just turns like this calm thing, you know. Relax into the fetal position by pressing A.
And it goes into, okay, now jump over. Then you walk, and then you run, and then be like, you got it, great job, and it gives you 50 coins. And then it goes, jump over this brick, and you jump over it. It goes, all right, you ready for the first boss battle? And you're like, no, all I did was jump.
Well, the only thing I kind of liked a little bit was for Xbox 360, you would always get like at least one achievement.
Oh, yeah.
For just doing the most basic thing.
The
They're like,
participation
you turned
award.
on the game. Achievement award. So I'm always like, all right, I got an achievement. Like you feel good. You're
Yeah.
like, yes, I got my
Start going
I got
from
my
the
first
get-go.
sticker of the day.
Yeah.
My first one. That's probably the only one I'm gonna get. But yeah. But back then though, we had like novels. Like they actually had like
Yeah.
artwork and
Yeah.
all this stuff to do. I mean, the best part was you buy a game.
Yeah.
You would while you're driving home. Your mom's driving because you can't drive because you're under 21 or
Right.
under 16, and you open up the book and you're reading it.
You gotta
and-
get the whole thing.
Yeah, you get the whole thing. You get
Yeah.
super pumped, and then you go play the game.
Right.
Now you can't do that.
You don't even get excited. You just, speaking of achievements, I have to go to that because I had a 360 and I was obsessed with getting achievements, except I'm not good at video games. Like to where like to play the campaign, I like multiplayer. So I got Halo, Call of Duty, and Guitar Hero, and I would just play the online and I wouldn't even touch the campaign. And so I had like 7 achievements, and all of them were opening the game, turning it on, and then getting a kill online. And those are the only ones related to what I did. And then so I was like, oh, but I really want achievements. Because, like, I don't know what motivation, why that gave anyone motivation was the achievements. Because you couldn't cash them in.
Yeah.
They didn't, like, buy you outfits. Or, like, oh, your character got a new sword because you have 300,000 achievement points because you have nothing else going on right now.
It's literally bragging rights.
Yeah.
That's like all you can do. And here's the thing: no one really. If you bragged about how much achievements are,
No.
and
you would
that's
even,
like saying you're really good at checkers.
Yeah.
Dimitri Martin joke. Enter here.
You better king me. And I remember there'd be like the guys at school, and they'd be like the popular guys, and then they'd add me on Xbox Live, and I feel like I was like, and I'd check out their gamer tag, and I'd be like, oh my god, you have 30,000 gamer points. I had no idea you were this big of a nerd. Like, no one knows this. I know this about you. I know this whole part of your life that no one else knows. You clearly have nothing else going on. I thought you were so cool, and you have 30,000 achievement points.
See, I would have been like 30,000 achievement points. This guy's the coolest guy in school. Now I know why women flock to him. Now I know why he's the starting quarterback. It's because he did so well in Gears of War.
He beat Halo 2 on expert.
You gotta have crafty hands.
Yeah.
You know, it's all part of the
Crafty
sports. Crafty fingers. For just a lot of time. Yeah, I mean, do they still have, I don't know if, I mean, they don't really have achievements in the Wii U. They don't have
No.
that for, I feel like it's only Xbox 360. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong because I didn't have a PS3.
Does Xbox One have it?
See, I'm trying to remember. I don't think so. They might.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't tell. I'm trying to remember, but the only reason why it might be is because you can link your Xbox. Like if you bought an Xbox One and you actually remembered your Xbox 360 account.
Yeah.
I don't, unfortunately, and the email I had was deleted a long time ago. But
Xbox 360 email address, as
Yeah.
if you're ever gonna be like, yeah, send my resume to this email.
exactly, like it was a Yahoo email, and it was just getting like covered in like spam and stuff. So I just deleted it because like I'm never gonna use this again. But you can transfer that to your Xbox One. So I'm wondering if maybe you can get achievements then on your Xbox One.
Like coupons to pay less.
But you know what? That's a good point though with the achievements. Like you can't do anything with them. It's not like you have to get this many achievement points and then you can unlock this, or you can get this DLC for free,
Something.
or something. It's literally just like good job.
Like they could have even made it to give them more business, as in it gives you a discount on strictly things you would buy within the Xbox marketplace. You know what I mean? Then be like, okay, well, I wasn't gonna shop for stuff on Xbox Live shopping, but now I will because I got $5 off my next purchase of.
I feel like the achievement points were for just kind of like when you're online and you show your profile, you don't want to have too little. You don't want to look, because then everyone goes, "Oh, this guy's just starting out.
Fake
He's
account.
a noob." Yeah, he's a loser. But you don't want to have too much,
Because
that's like, dude, you got to go outside.
you got to figure something out.
Or they think you're cheating.
Yeah.
They think you're cheating.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of cheating, there was one Madden game. My cousin came over. He's like, I can give you a ton of achievement points. I was like, oh, sweet.
does that
So
even
I think he's
mean?
gonna play it.
Yeah.
He literally just ran like a computer versus computer game, and he got all these achievements on it, and it was really weird. But now my thing looks like I'm really good at Madden. Like I can really play Madden.
You know,
and I can't.
The Microsoft men upstairs created that with an honor system in mind, and he just shat all over it.
I just shat over it, and I just revealed it on the podcast. Bill Gates is coming for me.
He's like, oh, he beat my score at Madden. How do you do it?
How do you do
He's
it?
trying to figure it out. He's sitting there with like a headset on, 3-year-olds talking to him.
Saying all the terrible things they're doing to his mother. It's ridiculous. So, okay, so you started off with the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
I started from the Nintendo. So we were born rivals.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well,
Okay, so what did you get after Sega Genesis?
then I got N64 and I was
All right.
doomed since.
Me too.
Yeah.
N64.
That was probably the best. I think I got it for my first communion. N64, and I got Super Smash Bros. And it came with something.
Dude, you got a great hookup.
No, Pokemon Stadium, and it came with. There was some attachment to the controller, and I can't remember what it was.
Was that the attachment so you could play the Game Boy through it?
No, because I didn't have a Game Boy, so it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
It was something, and because it wasn't just the game. It came in like a box.
So you've had Pokemon Stadium
Yeah.
before you even had a Pokemon game.
Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Started right.
Yeah. I mean, that's like a whole... Pokemon Stadium is like... It's like the Better Call Saul of Pokemon. Like you do it because it's Pokemon.
You do it because
themed.
you're not going to not get a Pokemon game.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the battles, which is 90% of the game, but at the same time, it gets rid of the big part of the game.
Back to what I was saying before, never liked the campaign.
Never
I
liked
just
the
want
campaign.
online battles, which happened to be in this case Pokemon Stadium.
It's all coming together.
Pokemon
now.
Stadium was the team deathmatch of Game Boy Pokemon games.
That's all it was, man. Well, yeah, because I remember I got an N64, but I got it fairly even before that. So I ended up getting Smash and Pokemon Stadium, but starting off with Smash and Pokemon Stadium.
Yeah.
Man, that's a pretty solid first community gift.
That is solid.
That's pretty great.
It was a great communion.
Yeah, that's a great community. That's
Kenny
solid.
Chesney Christmas this time of year.
So now we got so you got that. I had that. I started off actually I had a Yoshi game. Remember we were talking about for
Super
Yoshi's
Nintendo?
Woolly World. I had it was called like Yoshi's Story.
Yeah.
And it was the same exact thing, but instead of wool themed, it was book themed. So
Okay.
it was like you're in a story and your guy's going through the story. Not like Paper Mario, but pretty similar.
Yeah.
I never actually played Paper Mario,
No.
but
I think that's funny, and I'm totally going to undersell everything for Nintendo. Is like they just keep putting out the same game, but be like, all right, but how do we draw it? They're like, all right, we took this long book report, 10 pages long. It's all about How to Catch a Mockingbird. And they're like, but we need the people. They want a new essay about how to kill a mockingbird. I got it. We'll change the font to Comic Sans and resend it. And then, even though I'm gonna play every game and it's always better, but at the same time, it can be broken down to okay, this Yoshi was rendered a different color.
Well, I watched. There was this video, and it's one of those like if blank were honest, like if your teacher was honest, if your parent. Well, they had like if Nintendo fanboys were honest, and they were like, we know the game is the same,
It's the same.
but we like to play them. They're that good.
Yeah.
Like they're so awesome that we'll buy the newer version because we want to keep up to date because it's a great game.
Yeah.
And they go, how can you because people complain like, oh, Nintendo, they keep creating the same game, they just change a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, 3 words: Call of Duty.
It's the same, except Call of Duty is so like I am so over like war games. I can't even talk about it. Like how many you cannot make a game. You're gonna run out of wars that actually happened.
Well, they're making them up now.
Yeah.
Now they got like superpowered exoskeletons and Kevin Spacey wars. That's like it's
House
like
of Duty.
House of Duty. That's what that last one was. House of Duty. So they need to have like, I don't know, they need to have like Samuel Jackson of Duty and
like it's like I realize you don't want to end the franchise, but for the sake of me, end the franchise because so you start off with Call of Duty. They're like, okay, it's a good game, so it's Call of Duty 2. You just got to make a sequel. There's nothing wrong with that.
And those were World War II games.
Yeah, exactly.
They were all World War II
World War II. And then they made Call of Duty 3, and they're like, oh, whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do that. and then they stopped going. Then they changed wars. They're like, we'll do World at War, and now it's different. It went farther back than World War II. And then they're like, let's go forward. Now it's current, and everyone blew their mind. They're like, it's not futuristic. It's not past tense. It's now.
Yeah. Well, that's what. After Call of Duty 3, Call of Duty 4 was Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
That one was when I remember I played that. It was great.
Yeah.
Because unlike Halo and all those other games, it was the first time you had a system that was kind of similar to RPG games, where the better you played, the better guns you started to unlock, and you get to customize everything. And the more things that you did, your level went up, and that actually meant something. Like you can get like your guy can run a little bit longer than the other guy. Your guy can like hold on to like looking through a sniper scope a little bit longer. And just like little things that got you motivated to keep playing. And the maps were really sweet too.
Yeah.
But then they're like, all right, they love Modern Warfare. Let's go back to World War II.
Yeah.
And I heard something that it was something like 2 different companies were making Call of Duty games. Like there was the ones
Activision was making it usually, right?
Yeah, or Infinity Ward.
Infinity Ward.
It was something I don't know the full details. Essentially, it was like one was starting to make only modern games like every like let's say even year, and the other one was making World War II every odd year. And I don't know, my brother was saying, he's like, why don't they just make like a Civil War game? Like a really good Civil War game. I'm like, because they only have like one shot, and then you're spending like 20 minutes trying to refill it, put it in the musket, get out the gunpowder. By the time you're done, you have syphilis. And it's over.
It just
half your team dies of dysentery.
It just shows you not washing your hands. Like you pass a sink, you're like, I don't know what that was, and whatever. And then just shows your young child dying of old age because he exceeded the life expectancy by 4 years. He's like, but he was only 5.
He was only 5. Bear eats the other kids.
You forget what game you're playing because you're like,
what
I haven't had a gun in like 10 minutes. There's just bears running around, kids dying.
People scalping each other. Just it just keeps getting darker and darker. Yeah, I mean that's the thing though. But like those games are essentially the same. Madden, it's football.
I do not. But sure, it's hypocritical because we're talking about Nintendo. Being they nailed it the first time, but I have no idea why you buy a new Madden game every single year to get the new updated roster with 3. That's the same exact thing as spending $300 for a new textbook. Because the only thing they changed was a word on page 36, and then maybe it had an extra author that said, hey, maybe Jell-O causes heart disease, and they added that in. They're like, hurry up, write it down on page 46. Nothing else changed, and they're like, yep, it's new.
Well, my only thing was I always went to like used and used and abused. But sometimes the teachers were like, you got to get the new one because the questions are all different in the new one. And that scares the crap out of you.
And everyone's like, got to get the right questions. And realize you never opened the book anyway.
Funny story. When I went to my first year of college, I went into a communication class, 101. Communication, it was literally called Communication 101. Intro to Communications. And I had to take it because in my program, you had to take these communication courses. I go there, and the professor's accent is as thick as molasses. And I got a little bit, later on, I started to have a little more respect with accents and stuff. But I was like, this is a communication class, and I can't communicate with this person.
The irony of that.
It was so ironic. And I was like, I can't understand what she's saying. I'm sitting front row. I'm like, I can't do this. So I switched out, right?
Yeah.
So I switched to another same class, Communication 101, with a different professor.
Yeah.
So, and it was one of those things where it was like once a week, and it was already done. So I had to actually wait 2 weeks. I think it was because Labor Day was the following week. But anyways, so I do that. And they're like, read these chapters of the book. So I read the chapters of the book. I go and take and they're like, all right, we're going to have a quiz because it's only once a week. So they want, you have a quiz like every week. I do a quiz, and they're like, oh, yeah, you have the wrong book. So, even, different sections, even though it was the same subject, the same class, Com 101, each professor had, a different book. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know about it, so I did terrible that quiz. But it's like, what?
Why does that matter? As long as it's I feel like the only time that would matter would be in history class, and the book is so old that it just has racist subtext in between each thing. Everybody, just please flip the page past 13. Nobody look. You in the back, please don't look at that.
And then it says Abraham is going to check out the movie theater today. Get it? There weren't movies back then. Don't be ridiculous. So, video games. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. So those are, they make the same game, but I remember you, Jared, and I, we sat down virtually through texting.
So we didn't sit down.
We didn't sit down.
We're alive.
We were probably standing up.
We're existing.
One of us was at least on the toilet, because you only go on the phone when you're on your toilet.
No, true.
And I remember we were like, listen, we couldn't decide Xbox One, PS4, Wii U, and we were like, hey, we're going to get the Wii U because we know that the games are going to be good because it's the same games, but they're just
safe.
They're just improved.
Yeah.
And they're a lot less expensive than the other games.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brother's got an Xbox One right now, and I can't stand the system.
Really?
I can't stand it.
Why?
This is the concept. When you buy the game, you put the game in the disc. You put the disc in the system.
Yeah.
Normally, at every other system that we've ever played you start playing the game.
Easy.
No.
Step 1, step 2.
You don't do that at Xbox One. You have to download the game to play it on the disc.
Don't you have the disc now?
You have the disc.
You have the disc.
You have the disc.
So what more do you want?
You have to download the actual game now. So you download the game.
So what's on the disc if the game's...
The disc is think of it like when you used to play a computer game and you have to put in the disc and they say install. Yeah, you put in the CD-ROM. But first you'd have to pull out the floppy disk. Because you had 3 megabytes worth of viruses in there.
Oh, I fit all 3 of my songs on this floppy disk.
That I stole from Napster. So you would do that, and you'd have to install it. And then sometimes certain computer games, after you installed it, you had to keep the disc in there in order to play it still.
Right.
That's how an Xbox One is. We've literally gone back to 1998.
Windows 98.
We did.
Oh my god.
When I turned on the Xbox for the first time, it went that song. And so you install it, and here's the thing. To put in perspective, it took me about 2 hours to install a game. And here's the thing. It wasn't fully installed. It got up to 75%, and it was like, oh, now you can play it. It's just the graphics aren't going to look as good. It's not going to be as smooth because they're still installing the game.
Who's got this kind of time?
No one. No one in this generation.
What adult has that kind of time? To go, all right, 2 hours from now, I'm going to be doing something relaxing. But for right now, I'm going to be frustrated and angry.
It's ridiculous. So then that alone gets me mad. Then it takes up so much since you have to download it.
Yeah.
You still have to have the disc in. If you take out the disc and you hit that game, they're going to go, you need the disc. Because we need to make sure that you didn't steal it.
So there's no point in downloading it because it's not like you're downloading it so you don't need the disc anymore. It's just dumb.
Yeah,
there's
it's just
no
dumb.
point. So you would still need the disc.
Because what Microsoft was doing originally was they were like, we're not going to have any discs. you can just download the game online. That way you don't have to worry about stores running out, nothing. You can just download them online and they'll play directly on your thing.
Sure, GameStop was happy about that.
GameStop was pissed. Everybody was pissed because they were like, well, what if I want to turn in my used game, or what if I want to play a used game because it'll be a lot less expensive?
Yeah.
So then Sony, for their PlayStation 4, they were like, we got discs. And everyone was like, wow, it's amazing.
We got discs.
It's revolutionary. They said that in their Japanese accents. We got discs. We got the disc. So everyone's going nuts, right? So Xbox was like, okay, we'll give you discs.
You want discs?
You want this? You want this disc? You want this disc? So they got the disc. I just want to keep saying disc. It sounds so good. Disc. You want this disc? This disc over this? Do you want this disc or this disc?
Now it's back to Japanese. Oh, which disc? Which disc do you want? You want this disc or you want this disc?
Oh yeah, you want the disc disc. So anyway, so now you put the disc in, you install it. We'll go back to this. You install it, and you have to keep the disc in because they don't want you. So they do that, and I finally asked somebody. I was like, "There's got to be something wrong. Like, there's no way that is." So I asked some people at GameStop, and I was asking around. I was like, "Is that normal? Is that like is my brother like messing up? Like, what's going on? Is that like an option?"
Yeah.
You know, because I figured, okay, maybe it's like you can have the disc if you want to install it. You can install it, and then you don't need a disc anymore. But I was like, that's not true because you still need a disc. I was like, what's going on? And they said that apparently the graphics are so good that the disc speed can't keep up. And they said, like, yeah, like a lot of times I guess like Xbox 360 would crash, which makes sense, Red Ring of Death, all that stuff, because like they couldn't keep up with, and I don't know if it was Red Ring of Death that did that, but they were saying like there was a lot of glitches and stuff because they couldn't handle the frame rate and all the detail and all that type of stuff. So like, so if you install it on the actual hard drive and you have the disc in, it lightens the load, so that way the disc can operate correctly.
Science. I spent a good couple of years of my life basically just giving GameStop games and also money. So I don't know what I got in return, but it wasn't either.
You got regret.
I got regret almost, because here's what happened. So it was mainly when I had a GameCube. Next system now.
Yes.
Now we're on GameCube. Was my next. I didn't get a PS2 ever. I've never had a Sony game.
You've never had a PS2
ever in my life.
I thought you were definitely a PS2 kid.
You don't even know me.
Oh my gosh.
What
did we do at your house? Oh, that was back when Xbox was around. Okay,
yeah.
Continue the story. I apologize.
It's okay. GameCube. And so there is, as you know, or you may or may not know, GameCube has a bunch of great games. In reality, it's like 3 good games. Smash. There's a couple of good games for GameCube. Can't think of the other ones. Every other game is god-awful. But those few games, Super Mario Sunshine made the GameCube seem better than it actually was, like any Nintendo game.
Those water graphics, man.
Yeah. He's squirting the water. He's like, whoa.
It teaches you to be a janitor.
Just to clean everything up.
And that's the thing, too. Like, I'm not a big fan of Super Mario Sunshine, but, like, my fiance, she loves it.
It's the best game ever.
She loves that game. And she's like, oh, it's amazing. But I was like, Super Smash. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. A lot of times I would get games that were like for like also Xbox and PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I'd get them for GameCube because they for some reason they were just better on GameCube.
Yeah.
But as you were saying.
And so you have those games that you continue to come back to and you always play those. But then I also had 400 other games for GameCube that I don't know where I got from. And I don't know what trenches of GameStop, but every single time I'd buy a new game, I'd buy some game you've never heard of, Ant Murder 6, and I'd be like, this sounds good. I'm going to buy it new for $60. Because every new game, no matter what game it is or who made it, what pile of crap it is, it's still $60 the day it comes out. And that's, of course, when Richie, financial advisor King, bought Ant Murder 6. And so I'd buy Ant Murder 6, and I'd play it, and I'd go, wouldn't you know it? This isn't a very good game. And then I'd return it, and I'd get $1.50 back, and they'd be like, what do you want to spend this on? I go, Ant Murder 7's coming out soon. I better get it. And so I'd buy it.
Then you put a pre-order.
I'd put a pre-order on it, and then I'd play another, and then I'd get another crappy game. And then here's the thing, though. I'd miss playing Ant Murder 6, and I'd buy it again for $30. And I go, why did I buy this? And I'd go return it again, and this time I get 50 cents back. So now I've spent $90 on Ant Murder 6. Well, I'm sorry. We got to take out the $5 I got back from the first time, $1.50 for the second time. So I spent like $93.50 on Aunt Murder's.
Well, here's the thing. GameStop gets you really bad as a kid. Because as a kid, your only income is trading your games.
Yeah.
So, like, your parents got you these games for all this, they spent like $300 or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then you take it to GameStop and they're like, we'll give you $50 for all 70 of these games.
You're
and
like, $50?
$50, I can almost buy a game. I just need $10 more. This is amazing. So then you go and you like sell you sell all those games. I remember selling like all my N64 stuff, all my Super Nintendo. And I remember they were like, why don't you just keep them? I'm like, well, no, because Killer 8's coming out. I just know it. And so you do that, and then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I got to go buy some nostalgia. So I ended up spending like $300 to get it because now they're considered rare.
Yeah, now it's old enough to where you used to have it, but now you don't have it anywhere because you sold it, and then
Super Smash Bros, the very first one for Nintendo 64. If you go to any place that has it, $60.
What?
I kid you not, $60 for the first one.
Kirby
Super
isn't-
Smash Bros Melee, $60.
What?
$60.
Oh my god.
If you were like, I need to go buy my GameCube again, do you still have your GameCube?
Yeah.
You do? Good. Good. If you
I learned my lesson.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think we've bought like 3 GameCubes.
Yeah.
Because we got, the first one, then we sold it, and then my brother's like, we should get a GameCube. And then he like, I don't know if he sold that one again, but it's just.
That's literally how we are for N64, is we bought 2 while it was actually like a lively system. Like first we got it, and then I honestly think our house got struck by lightning, and it went through and it just blew up our N64.
Oh, jeez.
That really happened.
And those are indestructible, man.
And so we got another one, and then my mom had the logic of, when I wanted the GameCube, she goes, well, you can't have 2 systems. So if you want the GameCube, you're going to have to tell the N64. So I don't know why. So we sold it or got rid of it. I don't know what happened. It was against my will. They sent N64 to the farm, as far as I know. And then I bought it a third time on my own for nostalgia. And then I left it at someone's house within the last 5 years. And then I bought it again. I'm pretty sure I have an N64.
I do. I mean, I haven't. I bought. Well, okay. My fiance gave it to me for Valentine's Day once, which was awesome. But I bought a Super Nintendo. I have like all those games. And then here's the thing: you play, you're like, wow, this could be so great. You play for like 15 minutes.
It's never that good.
And you go, oh yeah, no, like it was great because I was 12.
Yeah.
And this was considered new back then.
Yeah. It was great because it was simple. And I didn't know too many brain things.
And I think that's like one of the reasons why, we still settled on Nintendo, because you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get a little bit of that nostalgia, but at the same time, it's still like new because it's updated. So you still feel like the kid like getting it for the first time. Yeah. So like the new Smash Bros, it was like, wow, this is like the good old days we used to play Smash, but it's also like, 1080p crisp HD. They have these new characters, all this new stuff. So you're like, the story continues.
My life goes on. And yet they still don't make Dragon Ball Z downloadable characters for Super Smash. I'm just saying.
Do you know that? You remember that voting thing that we did?
Yeah.
For Dragon Ball Z? I guess like people can still vote, and it ended on October 2nd, and they're gonna start revealing who the new character
Really?
is.
So that's still gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be Goku.
Better be.
Because he's not. I don't think he's on any Nintendo games ever.
They're on all of them. I had so many for GameCube.
You did?
Yeah, but
I didn't know they had Dragon Ball Z games for GameCube.
There's probably one over there somewhere. I don't really know. But yeah, I had like 3 different. I don't remember what they were called. Dragon Ball Z Fight to the Fight.
I never owned a Dragon Ball Z game.
You're missing out.
I never did.
It's probably one of the worst games.
Now there's a new game that's for Dragon Ball Z that I was like, okay, this is a game that I can consider getting, but it won't go down in price. It's still $60.
Really?
But here's the kicker: you can create your own Saiyan.
I think you were talking about that.
Yeah. So I was like, that's gonna be sweet. Or the newer version's gonna be better because they're gonna fix.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they don't kind of make like a Dragon Ball Z. Like you create your character.
Yeah.
And you just, it's almost like open world. and you do that, and like you can do missions with Goku if you want to do missions with Vegeta.
Yeah.
You can maybe even decide like if you want to do missions to like verse the bad guy or join the bad guy.
Right, that would be sweet, and it could even be without getting with literally not trying to make a joke, kind of like Grand Theft Auto in the way where you're given this world and you can choose what you do. There's a whole city life for where
You can go get some Java.
I can't even think.
You
of
can eat for 6 hours.
You could you can go to the gravity.
Yes,
just
yes, and
train
you
in
can
there.
train and verse your friends.
Online, and then you build up your HP and your stuff, and
And maybe something like, like there's like different, because you can only do up to like 3 Super Saiyan levels. We're not gonna go to 4 because we're not talking about GT.
No.
But you can do like up to 3. But maybe there's something like you're a Super Saiyan level blank, and then you can like unlock like cool things that you're gonna look like as you become a Super Saiyan.
That would be sweet. Did you ever play Sonic Adventure Battle 2?
Yes.
Where you get the chows.
Okay,
and the chows change. That should be what it is for. Holy crap!
That game. Okay. You were trying to think of 3 good GameCube games. That one's
Sonic
gonna be
Adventure
up there.
Battle 2, best game of all time. Super Smash Bros. Super Mario Sunshine, debatable.
I'm not gonna say Pikmin.
Pikmin. A lot of people like Pikmin. I did not. That's a game I rented, and I was like, yeah, I get it. Love Pikmin. I never played it again.
Yeah, that was the first game that we got for GameCube because my dad he got the GameCube for my brother actually for his birthday, and he was like, well, I gotta get a game, and he just give me the Pikmin one. So he goes,
that's your dad at GameStop.
And you know what? I'm pretty sure.
Give me the Pikmin.
You know what? I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but since my dad never knew how to say Pokemon, he always said Pokemon. All the time.
He probably thought it was Pokemon.
I'm pretty sure he was like, look, I got you guys Pokemon.
Give me the Pikmin.
I'm pretty sure.
Pokemon.
Give me the Pikmin. I'm pretty sure that's what he thought. Because then I told him, like, no, this isn't Pokemon, this is Pikmin. And he's like, yeah, that's what he said. He got a Pokemon.
He got Pokemon.
Pokemon. Jeez. But yeah, I think that's what happened.
When I went to GameStops.
At your Pokemans. At Myers. Myers and Kmart.
Pretty sure there's an S at the end of Meyer.
I thought it was Meyer apostrophe S. I thought Meyer owned it.
Dr. Meyer.
Turns out the store is named Meyer. It's a being.
It's a whole organism.
Go to Billy's. Yeah, you're going to Billy's. Yeah. You're going to his place.
You're going to Meyer's place.
You're going to Meyer's place. Frederick Meyer. You're going to his store to buy stuff.
Come on down to Meyer's. It's a home family. You got a fresh sushi at all times.
Fresh sushi.
I'm Frederick Myers.
Yeah, I had a GameCube. I had a PlayStation 2 prior to that. Actually, I had a PlayStation 1. I'm a spoiled kid.
Oh my gosh, you are. And Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Well, you got 84 brothers and sisters, so they each had their own.
Well, no. My brother was the only one that got a GameCube. Because my parents were going to get me one. Because, you got a PlayStation 2. You don't need that.
Right.
So I went to my brother and was like, hey, you should get a GameCube. It's the greatest thing ever. And he's like, yeah, okay, it sounds good. And he's like, yeah, it'll be my system, right? I'm like, yeah, totally. And then I ended up playing it more than he did. And
so manipulative.
And then I ended up, I ended up getting him to get an Xbox One. I was like, hey, you should get Xbox One.
It still works.
And he's like, then I have my own Xbox. I'm like, yeah. And I was totally gonna just play it.
Yeah.
And whenever he got grounded off it, just keep it in my room and play it. But I hate the system.
It's awful.
I can't haha, I finally get to play it. Because after I download the newest game for 2 hours, then I start thinking about my morale. I'm like, I'm kind of taking advantage of my brother. This isn't the right thing to do. And I turn it off. It doesn't give me time to think. It gives me too much time to think.
It gives you too much time to think about your actions. That's why I play video games, to forget about my past.
I just want to put the game in, and when the angel comes, it's like, don't do it. I'm like, the game already started. I got to start.
Sorry.
While it's downloaded, now I got the devil and angel thing battling.
Right.
And it's just a mess.
And then that's its own video game.
It's a mess. And I was like, okay, I can understand if this was like this in the 80s or the 40s or the 20s where people had to wait for things. They had to wait for things to happen.
Not today.
But now, no, it does not work today.
Here's what they should do. They should have a game as promised for the Xbox One game, and then so you buy the game, you put the disc in, and it goes, "Welcome to Titanfall, Fun Edition." Fun size, and it's literally like a side-scrolling game where you're just popping balloons, and that's what you're playing while unbeknownst to you, the game's download, and you're like, Titanfall Bubble Blast is the best game ever.
And then you finally get the real game, like, there's more.
What? There's bigger bubbles in 3D?
This is amazing. And that's, the big thing too is like waiting for the 2 hours, installing it, and it takes up all this space. So you can only have like 5 or 6 games, and then you have to go buy another hard drive. You literally have to buy hard drives in order to buy more games. Or you can always, if you're not going to play that game, just delete it. Okay, so you delete it.
Then you got to download it.
And then you got to download and reinstall it again. Remember, the GameCube memory card.
Yeah.
You could put like 50 million games saves on there.
I had so much data to where I forgot that I owned certain games. It was so far back. If you got the small black square one, not like the Nyko Mad Catz memory card that held like you walking 6 steps in Mario, and it's like,
yeah,
sorry, started deleting characters in Smash.
You shouldn't have saved that extra $10. Now you gotta go buy a real memory card.
This one's see-through and weird.
Look, you see all the crap that they put in there.
It's just like bubblegum and
a cigarette butt.
Hey kid, it's not even like in a pack. It's just like, here's your Mad Catz memory card. It's like some guy in his coat. He's like, you want to buy a memory card? He's like, yeah, is that like the Nintendo brand? He's like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Get that dish.
Get the dish.
You can get Pikmin on it. Get the Pokemon.
It already comes with 5 levels of Paxmans. I'm sorry, what was the game? Paxmans.
You kids want to see a dead body? No. Look at Mad Catz, man. Mad Catz was weird because it wasn't the official controller. Yeah. It was always like too small, and like there was like extra buttons big. That didn't make sense.
It's like, what is this? Is this a turbo? But what happens if and then your friend who actually owned the Mad Catz controller was always like, don't press it. Don't press the turbo button. What happens? Please, just don't. Like, he had PTSD from the last time someone pressed the turbo button. Just don't press it. But you know what? I think Mad Catz did a disservice. Because you just go through this time, and you're just having fun playing video games, but it never makes you think. The Mad Catz controller made you pick who of your friends you hated. Yeah. Because that's who you would give the Mad Catz controller.
Sometimes... I remember there was this one Mad Catz controller for GameCube. It was really small.
Yeah.
Like, all the buttons really small. But... sometimes I preferred that one. And I was like, nobody touch it, because I was like, oh, it's smaller, so I can get to the buttons quicker, and I have better reflexes. But then you find out like the buttons aren't smooth and they're like clunky, and you feel like it's like what is this button's glued together? They didn't even turn this one into a button. This is just to look like a button.
There's not even electronics in this controller. You're like the poster child for Mad Catz. I can just picture the commercial of everyone playing, and everyone's like, hey, Jim, you can have the Mad Catz controller. And then you pop in, and you're like, no, I want the Mad Catz controller. And then you cause a big scene, and everyone's like really awkward, and they're like, I don't know what. I thought we were just going to play. I didn't invite him. Do you invite him? And then you steal the Mad Catz controller, you rip it out, the cord rips, and you run to the corner of the room, and you go, nobody's going to lay a finger on my Mad Catz controller.
Did you just turn into a Butterfinger commercial? No one's laying a finger on my Mad Catz.
Get it a finger, because it's a controller.
They'll be like, wow, why are you so good at this game? Because I got Mad Catz. Isn't that less expensive? Yeah.
It's like a sound bite of like a cougar, like Mad Catz.
And then your mom's like, yeah, just get the Mad Catz.
Of course.
Look how much more expensive. It's so much cheaper than the Nintendo brand.
I got an 80% coupon off of Mad Catz controllers only at Target.
So, funny story. So with the GameCube, I can't tell you how many times my mom bought me Attack of the Power of Juju. For GameCube.
That's another one of those games. Who owns Attack of the Power of the Juju? I'm pretty sure I owned that, and that's the one I returned 3 times.
I rented it at Blockbuster. I was like, oh, it's going to be a sweet game. And it wasn't. And they turned it into a TV show, and I was like, why? Why Nintendo?
Of all the shows, of all the games that gets a show, this is the one that you're like, we can't get on without having Attack of the Power of the Juju show.
Attack of the Power of the Juju. I still don't know what the Power of the Juju is. So, but yeah, I had Super Nintendo, N64, then I got a PlayStation, and then I was like, wait a minute, PlayStation 2 came out, and I was like, wait a minute, Vince, there's a pattern here, and the pattern is you can't keep affording to ask your parents to get these games. So I was like, I'm gonna wait till the PlayStation 3 comes out, because it was literally like PlayStation 2 came out a year after PlayStation 1.
Did it really?
Here's the
PlayStation 2 was out forever.
Actually, I lied. As a child, it was.
Yeah.
Because Because funny enough, the PlayStation came out before the Nintendo 64. Look it up on Wikipedia. It came out like a year or two before. So actually, the PlayStation 1 was out for a while.
Yeah.
But by the time I finally got a PlayStation, because as a kid, you never buy it the day of.
No.
Because we didn't even know when the day of was.
You didn't have resources.
We didn't have resources.
It's not in the newspaper.
Yeah, we didn't have. We only had Nintendo Power at the time. We didn't know dates and
I had
things.
Game Informer. That's what I had.
You always had Game Informer?
I never had Nintendo Power, or I think I had the Microsoft Xbox specific one when I had the 360, and every month it came with like a disc of demos that you're never gonna buy
Yeah,
the
I
games.
had that for PlayStation Network.
Yeah.
It was called, or no, I'm sorry, not PlayStation Network. PlayStation Magazine.
Yeah.
I had PlayStation Magazine and I had Nintendo Power.
Yeah.
And then when we did the GameStop, we got Game Informer because
Yeah.
it came with like your, get
Yes.
a discount, whatever.
Yeah.
It came with it. So then we realized like this covers all of the systems. We don't need
Yeah.
the other ones anymore. So we just started getting Game Informer. But yeah, so then by the time I got a PlayStation 1, the PlayStation 2 came out, and I was like, all right, I'm going to wait till PlayStation 3 comes out. I'm going to beat everybody by surprise. So I did. So I waited. Finally, I was like, there's no hope. And I bought a PlayStation. I got a PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
I was in 4th grade. I had this deep thought by the time I was in 4th grade. I was in 4th grade. I got all A's and B's for the first quarter. Right? So my dad's like, I got to reward this kid.
Right.
The economy's great. It'll never go bad in 2007. I just know it.
No.
So the economy's going good. So he buys me a PlayStation 2. And mom's like, why'd you buy him that? Wait till the year. So make him get all A's and B's for the whole year. I didn't get all A's and B's again until high school. I kid you not.
Your dad screwed you as big time.
But then here's the thing though. I would get C's.
Yeah.
My parents would take away my PlayStation 2. I would work them up to get all A's and B's, and then she'd go, okay, you can have the system, and then I would get C's again, and then it was this
Just,
constant.
like, keep you in checks and balances.
It was this constant battle that I had with like getting the system and then not getting it, and then like it turned like you can only play on the weekends and all that stuff.
Meanwhile, I can just imagine your elementary school teachers just being like, they're just trying to figure out like what your problem is that you like. Is he smart? Is he not smart? And then there's just one teacher who's obsessive about it, and she's got a picture of you in the center wall of her basement, and there's yarn connecting things of like question marks, homework assignments, fill in the blanks. You got an F here for like a month and a half, and then over here A's and B's. What's this Vince guy hiding from me? And then there's like a question mark with in front of a face in the middle. Be like, who's that in the middle? And then eventually it's Pikmin's.
It's the Pikmins that came out way in the future.
Vince's A's and B's stopped when Pikmin came out.
Well, yeah, it was, and that was messed up. That was a messed up time, and so I did that, and then. Okay, then I got the GameCube. So you got a GameCube.
I had
okay,
GameCube.
now you got the Wii, didn't you?
No, I never had the Wii.
You never had
I
the
got
Wii.
360. I was gonna get the Wii. I was gonna get the Wii when it was going to be called Nintendo Revolution.
Yes.
And I spent all of my time on inaccurate forums about games that might come out with characters that'll never be.
Yes.
That was my whole life. You know how useful of time that is. It's not like, oh, Richie, it's just video games. No, it's not even just video games. It's things about video games that didn't happen. That means not only is it as useless as video games, it's less useful than things that won't happen in real life. And that was my whole time. I'd go on this one website, and I can't remember what it was called, and it goes, Super Smash Bros. 4 was going to come out, and here's the characters that it might have. And it's this long list, and it was like Bomberman, Goku, this guy, and I was like, who's that guy? And I'd click on the thing, and I'd have a link, and then that was my whole, what is that?
And that was back when like internet was super slow.
Yeah.
And you'd have to wait.
Oh, yeah.
A long time. Did you have Netscape?
I didn't have Netscape.
Yeah, you get that Netscape.
Just
Get
big.
that Netscape. Yeah, no, but Nintendo Revolution. It was supposed to be like the one, like the ultimate
It
system for
plays
Nintendo.
all Nintendo games.
It plays all the old ones.
It prints money.
It
did
prints money.
everything.
It solves like your dad comes back if you have it.
You put in a Nancy Drew book and it tells you how it ends.
It's the ultimate Spark Notes. It was just this great thing, and it actually kind of looked like the Wii U a little bit in terms of like the color, because it was like all black with like
yeah.
the blue and
Yeah.
all that stuff. Do you remember when they were talking about when the PS3 was going to come out?
Yes.
Remember that weird controller that looked like a boomerang?
Long thing, yeah.
It was super long, though. Like, people have really long fingers. They sort of wrap around them.
I don't know what like clammy demographic they're appealing to with that controller.
I'm still trying to figure out what was Xboxes, the original Xboxes, for like the huge.
What child can play that game? I remember I would go over to my friend's house every day after school, and we would play Xbox, the first Xbox.
Yep.
And I'd be playing it, and I'd be like, okay, my thumb while holding the controller can't hit the X button. They can only hit the A button right on the edge.
Remember it had like a black and a white button? That was it.
Yeah,
there was
what is
nothing
that?
creative. It was just this is the black button, this is the white button, and it's a black controller, so you never really see the black button anyway. You're just like, what am I doing with these buttons?
God forbid you're playing in the dark.
Oh, you were doomed. Man, it was great. So you didn't have PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2, yeah, I never had it. That had to have been the best system ever, and I've never played it. I played it a couple times, but just like how long it went as being a current generation system, was like it like came out the same time as like GameCube, and it lasted right while the 360 was out for a while.
Yeah.
Or no, probably it came out before GameCube, way before GameCube, I think.
GameCube was the last thing to come out.
Yeah.
Or maybe Xbox by like a year. Probably not though.
Yeah. And yeah, it just lasted a long time.
Yeah,
definitely screwed the pooch on that one.
I mean, it's just the best system of all time. And I mean, I even had like the online adapter, so you can actually play online games. And that's where there was like the game called SOCOM that came out. It was an army game.
Yeah.
You can play online. There was I used to play Tony Hawk online. Oh my gosh. That's why when you and Jarrett were probably wondering, why is Vincent so upset with the new Tony Hawk game? It's a Tony Hawk game. What did he expect? It's because I used to play that online. I would create my character.
Yeah.
I would play online. I would join clans. In order to join the clan, you had to do trick attack, and you had to prove your worth, and you had to get like so many millions of points, and you were in the clan.
God.
It was amazing. You start crews, and like you had to change your username, and you're a part of this clan, and you were welcomed. It was amazing. It was an amazing game, and then you could do all this crazy stuff. Like
you had to prove your worth with the trick attack.
You did. You had to prove your worth. It was like Step Up, but with video games.
720 Benihana. How did he do it?
Dude, I mean, no, so like if you got to, and like you always knew the good clans, because the good clans were like, if you can get 1 million in 2-minute trick attack, you start at level Z, like the lowest level you can be. Like you're the lowest of the low. You have to get 1 billion to be the best of the best. And there are kids that like did that, like, oh my gosh. And like here's the thing, if you like, there was sometimes I was like, I'm gonna cheat the system,
right?
And I'm just gonna like join the clan and write my name on there. But if like you start playing trick attack, and if you were getting close to those numbers, you were questioned. And you would get banned, and like it was like,
oh no, not banned from the clan.
You would get banned from the clan. And it was crazy. It's like, it was amazing. It was an amazing game, and everybody had created characters, and you can create your own moves. Like, it was fully custom, and this was on PlayStation 2.
Was this Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3? No, 3?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 was the first one to have online.
Okay.
And that one was fun, but there wasn't too much going on that one. Tony Hawk's Underground, amazing online. Tony Hawk's Underground 2 was really great online, and Tony Hawk's American Wasteland was amazing online. Then I stopped playing Tony Hawk games because they started to make them like Skate. Yeah. And I didn't like Skate. I didn't like any of that. And then they finally came out with a new one, and they were like, we're going back to the original, and it's all these great games. I was like, awesome.
Sounds like a 90s
and they were like,
song.
They're like, we're doing that, and it's online up to 20 players at once. And I was like, what? Imagine the clans.
Imagine the clans. I'm going to prove my worth.
I'm going to prove my worth. Like, there's so much. And I was like, this is great. So I buy the game, $60. Get it home, spends hours to download on the Xbox One. 75% through. You can start playing now. Sweet. I start to play it, and I'm like, all right, first I'm going to do create a skater. Like, I got to create my identity so I can present it to these new clans.
Blue hair.
I have to prove myself. Sometimes people have white hair. And I'm like, why? Are you old? No, white, long hair. Okay. So, but anyways, you create your character, and you make them look kind of like you, but like if you were cooler, and you do all that
how
good
you
stuff,
wish you looked.
How you wish you looked.
Addressing all your insecurities.
This guy would have bigger muscles.
It just shows me like 18 feet tall. They're like, how do you make himself so tall? It'd be like, I'm super insecure.
This one has a girlfriend.
He's good at skating.
People think he's great at astrology. So you would do that, and they had no creative skater function. You can edit a character's looks, and they had Tony Hawk and they had Lil Wayne, and that's it. They didn't have any other. I mean, they had some other characters, but I don't know them. I'm not from this generation.
Bob Burnquist, you need.
Bob Burnquist was not in there.
What?
Bucky Lasek,
Not in there.
gone, non-existent.
Bucky Lasek.
Andrew Reynolds.
Andrew who?
I mean, Bam Margera, he's gone, but you know
He made it half.
he spiked and then it was done. But you can't do that. And I was like, there was only one game where you couldn't create a skater. It was called Tony Hawk's Pro Skater for Nintendo 64.
They went way back.
They went so back.
And it got worse.
It was ridiculous. Like, you can adjust their clothes. I'm like, I don't care what Lil Wayne's wearing.
He's wearing an orange shirt now and khakis.
Get up to 2 million points. Go to the orange khaki
Who
claim.
skates in khakis? Honestly, I don't know why I don't see every skater in like sweats or like a snuggie. Like how are you doing all these tricks and flipping around and you're wearing these tight jeans and you're wearing like tight khakis, which are more inflexible than tight jeans.
Yeah, they used to think, well, there was like two types of skaters. There was skaters, and it just depended on what was cool. The skaters who, like, their pants were so big that there's no way you can, like, they were just swimming in them.
Yeah.
There's no way that you could actually, like, move around or do anything.
90s.
Yeah. Or there was the pants that were so tight that it was like, that's got to be way too constricting to actually, like, get your full flexibility.
Full range of motion. Yeah.
So
You gotta crouch down before those McTwists.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you just have to be good. So like, it doesn't really matter, you know.
What clothes Lil Wayne is wearing?
So, but yeah. So back to where else were we at here? So we were talking about a bunch of stuff around that little rant there. But yeah, so you never ended up getting the Wii. I thought you did have a Wii.
I was going to. No, I didn't. I
You
never
didn't
had
get a Wii.
No.
So you just been rocking GameCube.
Yeah, Nintendo. GameCube for a while, then the 360.
Okay, so
because my mom was, I don't know how my mom saw it through it. I was like, I want the Wii for Christmas this year. She goes, you want the Wii? And I was like, yeah. She's like, I think you want an Xbox. Don't you want to double check that? Because the Wii seems pretty crappy. And I go, how do you know? And then I ended up getting the 360 and I was happy.
Yeah, what I did was I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to get a PS3.
Right.
Like, that's just what I'm going to do. And then they came out and my cousin got like the Wii and he's like, no, you gotta get the Wii. The Wii is amazing. Like, this is the real system. So I was like, okay.
This is what
so I get it and like, so I see the game and it's got Wii Sports and Wii Sports was like mind blowing. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like actually in the game as a stick character. This is amazing.
With balls for hands.
With balls for hands, throwing more balls into pins. So I was like, okay, so I got to get the Wii. And then they had like these shooting games, and they were advertising it like it's like almost like you're holding the real gun. I'm like, oh
yeah, I wanted Real Steel so bad, or what is it called? Real Steel. It was a platform game that came out when the
wasn't it like weren't you
or Red Steel?
Was it Red Dead Redemption or Red Steel? Was it the one where you were also like you had a ninja
yeah,
and a gun?
Yeah.
I never ended up getting that one. I actually had Call of Duty, like the World War II one. For that, so I got that, and I was like, "Oh, this is sweet."
Is that World at War?
It was like Call of Duty 3 or something like that during the Wii.
Mm-hmm.
It was like when the launch came out, they just kind of did copies of GameCube games and put them on the Wii.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting the Wii, and that's when I first went to Mallow. I first went to public school. So I'm like, I got the Wii. Everyone's got the Wii.
I'm in.
And I'm in the crew. And I sat down and like. Every lunch period for that whole year, all everybody talked about was how they had Xbox 360 and they're playing Halo.
Yeah.
Because Halo 3 didn't come out for Xbox 360
yet. They're playing Halo 2 on the 360.
Yep, they're just playing Halo 2 on the 360. That's all I ever heard ever. And then one kid was even like, well, I'm not going to be stupid. I'm not going to get a Wii. And everyone laughed. And I was like, I got a Wii. And I was like, I'm the new kid. I can't prove my worth anymore. It's gone.
And you're like, have you ever seen my trick attack?
And I was like, Xbox. Like, why are you getting Xbox? The Xbox... The first one was terrible.
Yeah.
Like, if anything, I could see everyone getting like a PS3, but at the time they were like $800. They were like super, super expensive. I was like, holy crap. But I was like, Xbox 360. I was like, what's going on? Then I heard about Gears of War. And I saw that, and then sure enough, I found out my cousin got it. I was like, traitor. And I was like, okay, that game looks amazing.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics, it's third person. I like third person shooters. Which you like third or first, or how do you feel about it?
I like first.
You like first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I was always like a big like third, and I think that's because I had PlayStation 2. All the shooters in
They
PlayStation 2 were
all
pretty
third
much
person.
third.
Yeah, a lot of like.
A lot of PlayStation 2
Yeah.
games were all third.
Yeah.
Some GameCube, but if you went from like GameCube to like starting shooting games for Xbox, then like those were all first person.
Yeah, it almost seems like Microsoft is more first person and Sony is more third person because, like Tomb Raider, which is a big Sony game, third person. That one, what's his face, Drake, Uncharted. I can hear that perfectly.
I know.
was third person. Gears of War isn't Sony, but yeah.
So with the so I did that, and then after that year of just having a Wii and realizing that there were no good games for it,
Did you cave?
I caved, and
Yeah.
I was like, I have to get an Xbox 360, but I didn't have the money yet. And here's the thing: my younger sister had money. Like she had like $4,000 when she was like 13 years old.
From what?
She just saved every like first communion money, birthday money, everything she put away because since she was like the only girl,
Yeah.
anything she wanted, my dad just bought.
Yeah.
So she's like, what do I do with this money? I'm just gonna stack it.
Yeah.
So she just saved it, right? So she had enough money. So I was like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I gave her like my old guitar, and I gave her like all this other stuff, and I was like, you can have this stuff if you buy me the game. But then she's like, that's a dumb deal. I was like, I'll pay you back though in increments. I'm like, this is what I consider interest.
How old is Miranda at this time when you're paying
Let's see.
her
I
interest?
was going into 10th grade when I got an Xbox.
Yeah.
So she's 4 years younger than me. So she was going into 5th, 6th grade.
So you're paying a 5th grader in interest and increments to pay.
I had to. Because she was smart. Like if anyone borrowed money from her, you remember old school Family Guy when it was Stewie? He's like, "Where's my money?"
Yeah.
That was my sister. Like she was just super demanding of like getting that cash back. So I had to really sweeten the deal. Like, hey, listen, I'll give you all this stuff and you can have it, and then you give me the money. I'll buy the system and I'll pay you back. That way you just have this stuff.
Yeah.
And so she agreed. So she buys the system. I got it for $420.
Okay.
It was $420 at the time, and it was actually considered a discount. Now you can get a Wii U for like $300.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I got the Xbox 360. First game I bought was Gears of War.
Yep.
It's been crazy. So now tell me your story. So you ended up getting the Xbox 360 for Christmas?
Did I get the 360?
Because remember you saying you wanted the Wii, and your mom actually was like, "Hey, maybe you should get the 360."
So I got the 360 for Christmas, and so I did, and it came with, again, I did the same thing. I didn't even learn my lesson. I did the same thing with the 360 as I did with GameCube. As far as you bought a couple of really good games, and you just the rest is just really awful. Just what did you like? I started off with Zero Dark 30 or Zero Dark. Whatever. It's like some game. You see? You don't even know what it is.
Wait, Zero Dark 30. That's
Zero Dark 30 is a movie. It was Zero Dark something.
oh, maybe that's why I'm confused.
Yeah. And so, not a good game. But that's what I started with. I had that. I bought Halo 2, of course, because everyone was playing at the time. And I was planning on getting Halo 3. I don't know if I knew it was coming out yet or not. But I was playing Halo 2. So I got Halo 2, Zero Dark. And I might have gotten one other game, all with the Christmas gift. And so I ended up just playing Halo 2 naturally.
Yeah.
And
Weren't you like really good at Halo?
yeah, that was my thing.
That was your thing. I
had
remember that.
nothing else going on.
That was your
Halo 2 and then Halo
claim to
3 I
fame.
got really good. Halo 2 I was bad, but I've never played a first person shooter ever in my life. So I was just getting used to it. And then Halo 3 is when I got so good that I would just curse at the TV. That's how you know you're good.
Yeah.
When you insult like children, like that's how you know you're good.
That's how you know you're a pro.
When you say the phrase no scope headshot, that's when you know you're good.
That's when you know. You've proven your worth. You're level Q in the clan.
Yeah. And then so I go to a party and it was some party and they had a Guitar Hero 2 for the PlayStation 2. And at that point I was really into guitar as well. I was just kind of tapering off and I was like, yeah. And someone was like, hey, you want to play Guitar Hero? You jump in? Or someone was playing. And they were playing Sweet Child of Mine on Guitar Hero 2. And I was like, what?
And that's where you fell in love with
yeah. And they're like, Rich, you want to play? And I was like, I can play this on real guitar. And they're like, would you want to play? And I was like, yeah. And then so I played, and I was like, I'm obsessed with this game. And then so I got I got Guitar Hero 3 because that. Oh no, I did get Guitar Hero 2. Like soon after that, and I got the bundle with the guitar.
Yeah.
And I put all the stickers on. You can't.
Oh yeah.
Because you can't have a boring fretboard.
You're
You're never gonna get anywhere. And so I remember I even put the strap on. You clip on the strap, and I stood up in front of my TV, 3 feet from my TV, to play Guitar Hero with it around my, like I'm really, like I'm part of it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm really doing something here. And I just played like all night.
I remember, yeah, I bought Guitar Hero 2. Now this is gonna sound super spoiled. But what I did was I got Guitar Hero 2. Because I always at first I was like, this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Why would I get this game? I can play real guitar and all this stuff. Well, then I heard about Rock Band, and I was like, okay, this is sweet because then we can play as like friends, and it's like we're a band, but we don't have to be so loud, and it doesn't matter if like someone sucks. It's a video game.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so I want to get Rock Band. So I asked for Guitar
You asked for a
Hero
loan
2.
from Miranda?
No, I got Guitar Hero 2 for my birthday,
Yeah.
and I was like, I can practice and get good. So by the time like Christmas all that came around, then I was like, I want Rock Band.
So much conniving going on in your head over your
Dude.
lifetime.
It was bad for a 10th grader, like so much thought. But yeah, and then Xbox 360. Now I'm starting to think now that Xbox 360 that lasted a long time,
Yeah.
and I feel like that was the top game. I mean, some people are like PS3, but there was like 10 people that had PS3. No one really had
No
it.
one really had PS3.
Because I was originally, like I said, I was always like, oh, I'm going to get a PS3. Like, PS2 is so great. But I found like, if nobody has it, then what's the point of playing?
Yeah.
You know?
It's like PS3 was always that system that like a bunch of people had. Like I go to their house and be like, oh, you have PS3, and be like, yeah. Anyway, this is my roof. I this is the reason we're actually hanging out right now. We're not actually doing that. I've never actually seen someone play a PS3. I
Yeah.
see it. You can see a little thing, the crescent, whatever, half moon peeking out from underneath their DVD player right next to their VHS player.
And they were like, all right, let's play a real system. They played
Yeah.
Xbox 360. Okay. Oh, never mind.
What?
Never mind. I was going to talk about the achievements for Xbox 360, but we covered that. We covered that plenty. How are we doing on time?
It is 3:16.
Okay, so when you want to boot me out?
I don't have a...
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got that. And then for our viewers to know, the new systems were coming out: Xbox One, PS4, and Wii U. And we were really debating on like what system we want to get, because we want to get the same system so that way me, you, and Jarrett, we can all play together,
Yeah.
and be friends and do all that great stuff. And we ended up going with the Wii U because Super Smash Bros. Was coming out, and it's been good. I mean, I feel like that was a good decision, especially since we would have used the same system for all the others, which would be to just play Netflix with our fiancés because we're too tired to do anything else.
Yeah.
Or watch Netflix but not really watch Netflix.
Yeah.
Instead of actually play games. So I feel like money-wise, we did good in terms of picking the better Netflix playing machine.
Yes, we definitely picked the better Netflix playing machine. I think we did good too because we got the Wii U and I got Super Mario and Smash Bros.
Because the Mario came with it, right?
Yes, so I got the Mario bundle, and I played those like crazy. The Mario even a little bit more than Smash Bros. And I was like, okay, cool, and I liked them a whole bunch. And then I got a couple third-party games, like I got Call of Duty and something else, because I was like, well, maybe I want a piece of everything, you know?
Yeah.
And I played it once. I played Call of Duty Black Ops 2, which I got Call of Duty Ghost for the Wii U, and I played it once. And so I think we made the right choice, or at least I made the right choice for getting the Wii U because
that's all
I would have had if I would have gotten like a Xbox One or anything like that. Like I can't play that game, and it's just over.
I remember, you're really trying to like, guys, we should get Call of Duty Ghost, and you're everything you said it wasn't wrong.
Yeah.
It's just I was like, I don't even like to play Call of Duty now on the systems that they're meant to be played in.
Right.
Like you're not really like Wii U can barely handle it.
Yeah.
Let alone like the other systems could like they can handle it really well. And I was like, I don't even play it then. Why would I play it now? Mm-hmm. My only thing with the Wii U is I wish it had better online.
Yeah.
For Smash.
I don't know why you just can't nail it
Even the PS3. Okay, the PS3. There was a game called PlayStation All Stars, which was Super Smash Bros.
Yep.
But it was PlayStation characters.
Yeah.
And I had a ton of fun on it. Actually, I actually liked it. And the online was, for the most part, super smooth.
Yeah.
And the internet that we had back in college was terrible. So for it to be super smooth on terrible internet is really impressive. And it was even cool because you could do stuff like this. It was like you and I could be on a team. Like, let's say you had your PS3, I had my PS3. We can both be on a team, and then we can verse other people online.
That's the best. That's the whole point.
Yeah. With the Super Smash Bros., me and you can play together and maybe have other people play like online, but it can't be random. Like, they have to join our game.
Yeah, me and you. We can't. I don't think. Oh yeah, we can't do that, can we? Where me and you go and we're like, all right, 2v2. You would have to be at my house to do that.
Exactly. Yeah. I'd have to be at your house or vice versa in order for us to play online with other people. But that was the cool thing about the other game was you could have that, and then because really, if you think about it. Let's say you just play by yourself online and you verse 3 other people from 3 other systems. They're still using up to 4 Wii U systems.
Yeah.
You know, but for some reason they don't have that function, which is a bummer.
I don't understand. It's like
it'll get a little laggy and stuff and
like really easily.
Yeah, it gets laggy really easily, but you know, I mean, I feel like we still try just to play and goof off. I mean,
yeah, I mean it works and it's not as bad, but it's like
it could be so much better.
You know the technology's already there, so I don't know what the holdup is.
Yeah.
You know.
They're putting it all in the Amiibos.
Yeah.
Why? Amiibos.
Why? Just dumb.
I ended up, I bought the first Amiibo with Samus, and then I was worried because they said that Yoshi's Woolly World was going to have, the multiplayer function was only going to be active if you had an Amiibo.
Yeah.
That was a rumor, and I was like, Nintendo has a way of saying like, oh, you can either buy the Super Bundle Pack, or you can buy the regular game. And you buy the regular game, like, well, the Super Bundle Pack comes with something that you actually want. Oh, can I buy it? No, it's going to be sold out for 6 months.
Yeah.
And this directly goes into
Super
GameCube
Smash.
adapter.
Yeah.
Even their Amiibos, like, everything they do is, like, you have to get it day of. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time getting it, or you're going to get it for quadruple the cost. Yeah. It's like, okay, so I'm going to buy the stupid little Amiibo thing. Even though I had an Amiibo before, and I didn't understand it, and I didn't like it.
No.
So I get it. And you don't need it. You don't need the Amiibo.
Typical.
You don't need the Amiibo.
What would it change?
Because here's the thing. Let's say you're single player.
Okay.
If you put on the Amiibo, you can have a computer play with you.
Mm-hmm.
If you just want to play multiplayer, you just press start and it plays. I'm like, wow, that's what's supposed to happen.
Right. Meanwhile, you saying let's just imagine you're single player. And I just imagine adding a comma in between single and player. It was close. Let's just imagine you're single player.
Okay,
got a little distracted. Yo, we heard you like single player, so we killed your girlfriend.
Playa.
With your car.
I read this thing online, and they said that one of the people on the show had a girlfriend. And they wanted him to break up with his girlfriend so that way he can be considered a playa.
No.
Yeah. They were gonna convince him to like dump his girlfriend because
it's worth it.
Because like because then he's officially a playa.
Yeah.
And he can have his pimped out ride and he can get like all these girls and stuff. I don't know if he did or if he went on the show or I don't know what happened. You know, majority of those cars are like missing. Like they either scrapped the parts and sold them.
Really?
Or they just or they sold their car.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like the people that are getting their rides like pimped, they spent like $100 on this car. So to get like $5,000 and stuff, and you're in the hood.
There's a good chance that
they're
a little strapped for cash.
Yeah. So like, if you need to pay the bills,
you're going to take out that fish tank in your glove compartment, and you're going to take off that bumper that scrapes the ground every time you go up your curb.
Maybe you don't need that 60th television.
That's always playing an exhibit music video every time they show the TV.
And they're playing in the back so the people can watch it so they can go, I'm going to steal that TV.
Yeah.
Like, who is that for? Oh, yes, when people are driving, they can sit there and watch the TV. I remember one time, I don't know the specific episode, but I know I'm not crazy because I remember it.
Yeah.
They had a TV on the rims.
I saw that.
The TV on the rim. So then when you sit outside, you can watch the TV.
You know what? Okay, so when I go to Wayne State in Detroit, and when you go, you have orientation. Part of the orientation, all day a thing, they talk about how to prevent yourself from getting robbed or things
Really?
like that. It's addressed, and Wayne State is surprisingly safe. The Wayne State community, obviously, it's surrounded by Detroit, but within Wayne State, it's fine, but whatever. And so he's talking about if you don't want to get this guy, I think he's like a sergeant or a lieutenant, he's like, if you don't want to get your car robbed, don't leave things out that's going to make people want to break into it. Which leads to, back to Pimp My Ride, if you're if you're a burglar or some sort of someone, and you're walking around the parking lot, and you're like, which car should I steal? And then you just start to hear the little whisper, like from Whoville, of an Exhibit song start to play. And then it gets louder, and then you turn around and you go, oh, I know which car I'm gonna steal. The one with all the television.
I mean, it either got stolen or it went missing, and they just sold it, or they scrapped it.
Or all the fish died in their fish tank in their glove compartment.
There's actually a funny story. So there was another thing I was reading about that. I was looking this up the other day just for some reason. And they said, I think it was the fish tank. They actually had to, they keep the fish tank on the show, but once the show was over, they removed the fish tank because they're like, you can't have a fish tank in your car.
You're going to spill everywhere.
You're going to spill everywhere and cause damage. And if you get in a car crash, you're going to get stabbed by the glass. Let alone as you're moving, the fish are going to throw up and be dizzy the whole time and die. And there's no way that you can actually access. Remember, they had to, how do you even clean it?
How do you clean it? There's no way Jeremy on Pimp My Ride is going to be ass hanging out the passenger door, scrubbing his fish tank, trying to. He's like, well, on my list of priorities, this is number 3. Then I got to vacuum my car. Then I got a shag rug in the back. I got to pay the cable for the 18 TVs in my car. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. This is so much responsibility. Damn you, Exhibit. I didn't want this.
I mean, imagine, they must have had, a crazy battery in order to power...
That's another
all
thing.
This great stuff. They're like, yeah, you pull this out, and you got a whole arcade system.
Every time you park, you got to make sure all of your lights and electronics are on automatic shut off, or you're just sitting there flipping switches like you're running a submarine, switching things off.
Do you remember the one with the skater, the skateboard guy?
Probably.
They had they're like, okay, in the back of your car, they attached a rail so you can grind.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like you could. It wasn't like a detached rail that you can take off and skate. It was like, no, it's attached to the car.
Yeah.
So if you miss, your skateboard is slashed through
You're
your
going
own car.
to ruin that $1,000 paint job that we did with glitter and Exhibit's face on the side.
Everything is Exhibit.
This show is just, how do we get Exhibit famous? He's not famous now, so I don't know. No one, if anyone tells me they knew who Exhibit was before Pimp My Ride, I'm just going to get angry. There's no way you're like, hey, have you heard this Exhibit song? And you're like, wait, what? Exhibit. There's no E on it. It's just an X because it's hip.
And it's got a Z in there for some reason. There's no H.
What happened to the H? I don't know, but he's on this show now, pimping people's rides. What if Pimp My Ride took a really dark turn, 3rd season? You know how when the Brady Bunch adds a fat kid?
Yeah.
And when they're right before they're about to cancel, every show adds a fat kid. What if Pimp My Ride just started literally pimping rides and they just human trafficking? And...
In the back we got Tina. Tina does what she's told, but if she doesn't, give her the good old slap.
Also, we put a fish tank in your
Also, Tina is a man.
Also, it's Exhibit pulls off her mask. Exhibit! Everyone just goes, oh, and then the credits roll up. No one really knows what happened.
With 70 hours worth of commercials into a 15-minute show. Do you remember how many commercials were in that stupid show?
So, here's what it was. So, they're like, yo, this is our friend Billy. Billy needs a new car. And then a bunch of commercials. And then it'd be like, yo, Exhibit, Billy, I'm at your house. And then it went to commercial again. And then, Billy, what do you like to do? And Billy's like, I don't know, video games. Because he's Billy and he's 17. And then he's like, all right. And then he goes to commercial. And then he comes back. And it's Exhibit and all the people you've never heard of in your life going, yo, Billy likes video games. What are we gonna do for him? Yo, right now we're gonna give Billy. It's gonna be a Mario Party paint job on the back, and it's gonna say Billy's Party.
Keep going. Keep going.
and
What is Crazy Mike gonna do? What is he gonna do with the electronics? I need to know.
And Crazy Mike, not to be confused with Mike Epps, I'm sure was on the show.
He's like, yo, I'm gonna put a TV inside his TV.
So, yo, they already got that. It's called Picture in Picture.
I'm gonna put PictoChat on the side of his car. So when he signs his name, it'll be up there on PictoChat. Oh my gosh. Do you remember that one, white guy who was like super metal and like just didn't fit at all? He had like the crazy hair.
I'm sure he had gauges.
I think he specialized in like rims.
Yeah.
What rims are you gonna do today? The big ones or the large ones? Like he's like these rims are gonna have lasers attached. Like it's rims. Like I'm gonna put some nice 16-inch.
I don't know how you're a rim specialist, especially on that show when the demographic is either getting big rims or that's it.
Maybe they had spinners.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes. Which is just, how do you have spinners and you go, hey, what's up? I'm an adult. Hey, nice to meet you. You want to see my spinners? And then you shoot yourself in the face.
Look at these spinners. Look at them spin. You just work for a carnival.
That's what you sound like. When you say, look at them spinners.
Look at these spinners.
You sound like you work at a carnival.
Throw a ball in between the spinners and you get a prize.
Whoa, guess your weight.
So, speaking of PictoChat, did you have any handheld games at all then?
So in the early years, and I don't remember how early, but I remember it was super early. So we probably had Sega. We may have had N64 at this time. It was old enough to be sold at a garage sale. We bought the first Game Boy ever, and we had the game, basically Brick Breaker, but it wasn't called that. With the thing and the
Was that like the Mr. Game & Watch type thing?
No, with where it just had that little paddle at the bottom, and then there was a bunch of bricks at top, and the ball hits the bricks, it breaks some of the bricks, comes back, and you got to make sure it just doesn't get past you. And if it gets past you, the level ends. And then I had that. I think I had. What did I have? And then I had Tetris. I think we just had that and Tetris.
So you never had a Game Boy? You never had the Pokemon games?
I bought myself once when I was way too old to be doing this. Well, not too old to be doing this, but too old to be buying that old of a game for the first time ever playing it.
Yeah.
I bought Game Boy Advance, and it was the classic edition, so it was gold and red.
Nice.
And then I bought Leaf Green and something else. And I can't remember what. And I played that a little bit. I kind of got into it. And then, like any campaign, I don't play campaigns. I went back to Pokemon Stadium.
That's funny. Yeah. So all this Pokemon chat.
Yeah.
You've never had the game.
I just let you guys think I'm totally in.
Were you like day 37? They still don't know. They still won't shut the hell up about this game that I've never played before.
Yeah. Day 40. Apparently now there's an X and a Y version. Did they start off at A and B?
So you never had like the Nintendo DS, 3DS?
Never had any of those, no.
None of that stuff?
Wow. I borrowed my cousin's SP, I think.
SP was good.
Yeah, but it was for way too long to where it was like I actually owned it.
The SP was like the big deal about the SP was it was the same thing as Game Boy Advance, but it had the backlight.
Yeah.
Which kids today take for granted because that wasn't always there. The old Game Boy games, like, okay, we're in a well-lit basement. Yeah. You couldn't see it because the reflection was terrible. And at nighttime, so help you God. Like,
it's not
you could not see it. It was terrible.
There are 3 spots in every household to where you can play a Game Boy game and actually look at it and see it.
And every time, your mom's just like, just save it. Just pause it. I can't pause it. I'm in the middle battle.
It's a cartridge. You can't save cartridges.
I can't save them. Lieutenant Surge is on the run. Did you watch the show a lot then?
Oh yeah,
okay.
I got it all on DVD.
Oh, look at you! Look at you! I think I got them all.
Pokemon Trainer of the Year, got a badge on.
You got the badge. Okay, so yeah, so you knew everything, and you probably had the cards.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you had all that good stuff. The thing is I just remember, like, I got the Wii U, I was like, I just want a game to where I can play with friends.
Yeah.
Like, I was sick of, like, playing online is fun, but I got sick of, like, playing on, like, if you play online, but at the same time you're, like, playing alone. I used to like in college, because when I was in high school, I got to the point where I just, like, stopped playing video games, which was right around, like, 12th grade-ish. I didn't really play them as much, a little bit here and there. And then... Or maybe I did play. I don't know. I just remember I didn't play them as much. And then I went to college, and the thing was like everybody like comes to the dorm and everyone plays together.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is when I had
That's
the most
what's
fun as a
fun,
kid.
yeah.
Yeah. And then when we used to come over here after high school, we used to play till like 4 a.m. just playing GameCube, just playing Melee.
That was the best.
Dude, we got to do that. You know, especially like once I get a house.
Yeah.
We got to do that. No rules, no parents.
Oh, pizza!
Pizza
Every night for
all
dinner.
day. We got to do that though. You know, because that's all I do. Well, I will be doing, you know, other than Netflix and stuff. So, sweet. Well, thanks, Richie, for stopping by. I actually stopped by your house again.
Again.
But it's okay. You know, I know you told me to get out last time.
Right.
But it's okay. And until next time.
I think this went well.
I think so, too. See you.